slow down, no. Can you feel it too? There ain't no stopping now. Feet off the ground, head to the sky. Yeah, wind by my side. You in my vision, directly we collide. You pull me in, I don't resist. Time seems to fly, but the clock doesn't tick. I crash into you, we both feel the hit. We both feel the way that our chemicals mix, and I wish that I just keep my eyes shut. Maybe this time will be enough. So I need to talk. Without you here, I wouldn't never see the stars. I'm headed for you. Put on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no looking back.
First, we make barbecue expand and then defense it.
Wow. It would have made more sense if you said, and then we eat it.
Agreed.
No way, he says defense it. It's hilarious. Broken English, bro.
Wizard said it was too meta.
Yep.
It's too meta. Wizard said it was too meta. We start over. Welcome, everybody, to episode 33, a.k.a. the Patrick Waugh episode, to celebrate the Montreal Canadiens making it to the playoffs. I'm your host, John Quinn, at Quinn of the Net on Twitter. Why don't you head to that website? I believe the address is twitter.com. Anyone confirm that? Yes? No? Head there and tweet at me. That's a cool thing to do. Joined by my co-host here, Frank Ricci, with his face in his hand. I heard he got invited to a housewarming party that Nick did not, so congratulations, Frank.
Jelly?
And at ESE Songers, spawning out of the bottom right-hand corner.
Not talking to Frank. I don't like him.
Not
Jealous.
talking to Frank ever.
So jealous.
Nick Song. How you doing, Nick?
Tweet me too. Do it.
You guys are shameless.
You're shameless. Going to a house party.
I didn't mention that I'm at ESC Song or ESC Jovian.
Yes,
At
ESE
ESE
Songers, both of us.
Follow at
Anyways,
ESE Songers.
hi.
Follow Red, Liquid Red.
Gentlemen, tonight we are joined, and ladies as well, whoever may be in chat, we are joined by a superstar of the Canadian eSports scene. He is not a player, or at least of a pro level. I don't believe he's affiliated with any team, but you may know him as the one and only Torte de Lini, Mr. Michael Cohen. Michael, how are you this evening?
Hello. I don't know about superstar, but I'm definitely...
You're a superstar in your own right. When it comes to journalism and writing and producing content, you are a star.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
The wizard in chat says you have 1 billion posts on Team Liquid.
That's Thomas. Thomas is a troll. Don't listen to
Over
him.
9,000, man. Over 9,000.
Thomas has been on our show before. Let's hope you can beat him in the lightning round.
Oh, God.
But that
What's the score? What do you get as a score?
I don't know. What did you get, Thomas?
I can't think he got anything more than 6 or 7.
Probably got 60%. I mean, that's usually Thomas's goal in life.
He's a pretty run-of-the-mill journalist.
Scrape by.
7. Oh, God.
Oh.
They call him
Are the-
Thomas Scrape
Are the
by.
questions more like Canadian questions or?
Oh, no. They are just random.
Oh,
They're
God.
very random. There's always a hockey one. And
Oh,
then I try
God.
to mix it up with some other video game, esports, StarCraft stuff.
I
And
don't
then
watch
I just destroy you verbally for a couple
Do I get
questions.
lifelines? Do I get like Ask Thomas?
No, there are no lifelines. We haven't implemented those yet. Maybe after 33 episodes, it's time to switch it up a bit. But no lifelines. Ooh, actually, usually we ask the guests to put their hands in the air to prove they're kind of not typing. But since we don't have webcam for you tonight, I'm
Don't
gonna
do
have
that.
to
I talk
trust
with my
you.
hands. This is actually my voice.
I don't think
with my
any of these,
hands,
none
so.
of these questions are really trivia questions, and I still have to make 2 of them. So as we go on and I get to know you a little better, I'll be able to produce some better questions.
Awesome.
So to start things off, we'll get to the toughest question. Where are you from? Where do you live now? And how'd you get involved with this mistress named eSports?
So I'm Michael Cohen. I'm from Jersey, New Jersey, United States. I came to Quebec, Canada, at least 11 years old, 12 years ago. I got introduced to esports through a friend of a friend. So I'm sure you guys know Whiplash from SPL. Is it SPL? Yeah, it's SPL. from Pro League. So previously to Whiplash, she knew a friend, Faye. I ended up meeting her on the ladder. She was Gold League as well as myself. I ended up meeting her. She introduced me to Whiplash on Ventrilo. And from there, I actually met up with a group called VT Gaming. Are you guys aware of that team?
Can't say I am, no.
It's pretty old. Okay, do you guys know Rain Gaming?
Damn it, Michael, you're killing us.
Yeah.
It's even older.
Esports knowledge
Stop
is too much.
I used to be a
Stop it,
wrestling
bro.
fan, okay? God.
It's
damn it.
2010.
Do you know Triple X? Do you know?
You mean Triple
Yeah.
H or?
Oh shoot.
So VT Gaming had Frank Fields. He's now with IPL, now Blizzard.
Mhm.
Had Frank. We had Huck. We had an old Canadian player, Atero.
Oh,
We had a couple
Taro,
other
yes.
players. And so from there, I actually got started to get more involved with the team. I had no idea what esports was. I knew a little bit through Warcraft 3 because I used to be a huge Warcraft 3 fan. And then Dota as well. And so yeah, eventually from there, I ended up lying to Frank. Well, I didn't really lie, but I said that I could contact sponsors for him. I didn't really have any idea what to do, but I knew I could write in a sort of a serious manner, a sort of officiated manner. So I started typing to a bunch of sponsors, started reaching out to a lot of people. I ended up talking to a few companies. I think later on, Nation Voice ended up sponsoring them. It wasn't anything big, but I mean, it was something I think a lot more personal for me, where I knew that I could do all these things, but you know, this is my first chance actually working on something rather than just sitting at home playing games all day, you know?
So when you started out, was it mostly writing content for the team in terms of, you know, results, upcoming things, profiles on players, or are you writing kind of esports scene blogs?
I was first doing player management. That's my first job. I was actually player managing the team as well as writing up schedules on the calendar for the players for upcoming matches. I helped admin the initial tournaments. VT Gaming Open used to have these initial open tournaments. Those were pretty fun. And then I got into a little bit of shoutcasting or commentating. Obviously, I don't have the voice for it, so eventually I dropped it out. But it was still pretty fun. I had a lot of fun. I ended up my first major, so to speak, regional event was LAN ETS. You guys did that already, so
Yes, very familiar.
yeah, that was fun. I did that 2-3 years ago. They kept giving us balls. Did you guys getting energy?
Yeah, the
drinks?
drink. Oh yeah.
So awful.
I think I drank way too many of those things. I
You
was
really
buzzing.
didn't like them? I hated them.
I didn't mind them. They taste like cream soda, so to me it's just like, all right, this is not bad.
Really, for me, it was like weak cough syrup, and I just wanted. But I had a lot of fun. I ended up commentating a few other things, and so yeah, player management, and eventually I got into writing.
Can you imagine if you lost that gold match? Where would you be right now?
Yo, I won because she was AFK. So
You couldn't lose. There was no losing there.
back in the day, I didn't understand when I was first learning StarCraft. I didn't understand the concept of fast expanding. It didn't make any sense to me.
No, it's all one base.
Why would I make a hatchery before the spawning pool? They'll kill me. I mean, they'll attack me before I can even finish it. I didn't get the concept at all. I played Zerg from the start because I used to play Undead.
Yeah.
And eventually I got the pace of how to play Zerg. I hit Masters once, I think. And what was it?
It's good.
It's a
I'm
goal.
still following in your footsteps one day.
I can
Soon.
teach you how to Baleen Bust.
No, I don't play Zerg though. Just teach me how to defend it. That's all I need to know.
I have no idea. I play random now on Hardest Worm, and I just get completely wrecked. You just walk in. I can't even wall properly.
Man, like
Sad.
life is
Life is
sad.
hard, man. Life is hard.
So, Mr. Torte de Lini, I wanted to ask, you are a huge proponent of the community that is StarCraft. You're a big member, big player in it. And I know that lots of people talk about how the community is really essential for esports and for it to grow. What are your takes on community? Why is this such a key ingredient, or how do you feel about the community in esports?
It's a bit of a tough question. I feel like, the community is a bit left and right, where they keep going, they keep flip-flopping on a lot of, people or a lot of issues or actually a lot of controversial ideas. And I feel it's really hard to please such a small crowd that could be so diverse or divided into groups. So like for MLG, remember when they introduced the concept of pay-per-view? It was so also was well received that well, but eventually, people started accepting it a little bit more. Maybe not necessarily all of them, but a lot more than previously. And I feel like it's really hard for someone to break the ice of new ideas or concepts without completely estranging the entire community. And it's because the community is your consumer group as well. And even though in my opinion, we're still rather small in the grand scheme of companies, ideas, and innovative sectors. I still feel that, to appease that group while also maintaining, a small profit or something to keep your company afloat is really probably the hardest part of this whole scene, I think.
Sachi, you touched on something that I think is interesting. Maybe we actually need to quantify what community actually is, because you said the community is also your consumer base, right? So
Exactly.
are we saying community is anybody who's watching esports, they're part of this esport community? Or are we saying like a community is more the people who are actually like invested in it and they're not just passing by, just passively observing, they're actually into it or care about it? So how do you see the community? Is it more of just anybody who's involved in this in any way, shape, or form? Or is it people who are more ingrained, more of a core group?
I feel it's for everyone involved, really, those even in passing. I mean, for those who spend, they do it for a numerous amount of reasons. Either one, they like the content, they want to support the content, or two, they're just feeling charitable and really want to keep this scene afloat.
Yeah.
And I feel the whole notion of those who are just passing by or aren't part of the community is just, I don't think anyone acknowledges that sort of idea, because it's every little number that really counts. I mean, when DreamHack hit 120K, what was it, last weekend? That was pretty high. That was pretty huge.
Oh yeah.
Big news.
And it's even though it's in passing, because previously it fell later on. It fell like to 99K after. But I mean, it's all those little people that really make the numbers count. That really make it grow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting blog post. Sorry.
Unified as one. So it was alluded to earlier. Obviously, Thomas knows who you are and says you have 1 billion posts on Team Liquid. But tell us about your involvement in the community. What are the things that you do that embed yourself in this community?
I never liked when people refer to how many posts I have. I wish I could take away that number. It's kind of detrimental because it quantifies something that I just completely enjoy without the need of having to have an improved number. I mean, whether I have 10 posts or 20,000 posts, it doesn't really change anything, right?
Right.
But a lot of people, they either contribute negatively when I give a smaller answer or something that isn't necessarily propelling the conversation, or they contributed to something positive about myself where because I post a lot, I'm a bigger part of the community. And I'm not necessarily associating it with you guys, just in general, I get that a lot in passing. It kind of annoys me. In terms of how I embed myself in the community, I obviously do a lot. My CV consists of about 2 pages, reduced. Consists of about 2 pages of work. I've helped, I think 8 teams, over 50 players across 6 time zones. I've done over 11 events. Over 74,000 people have attended or checked out the events I've been a part of. Of course, NASL is a huge counter for that. A huge, obviously boosts my number. Without NASL, I think it'd be only 12,000. Because NASL, I think they had 65,000 peak concurrent viewers in attendance. So that was I had a really good opportunity to learn a lot from them. They were awesome. Yeah, you guys had fun there too, huh?
A bit.
Isn't that where Ken got his huge break?
Yeah, you could say
Is
that.
Ken watching?
No, he doesn't watch this whole show.
Ken doesn't esport as hard as we do.
Yo, Ken's too charismatic to watch shows. No. But he really is charismatic.
Are we talking about the same Ken?
It's kind of intimidating when he's so friendly. He's coming right at you,
And yet he's built like a monster.
Yeah.
He's
I don't know why.
He's like serial killer friendly. When you're like, this guy is...
But he always dresses in those like madman clothes, that sort of like polo from like the 80s.
It's so tight around the arms.
Yeah.
I miss Ken.
Again.
I've done writing 150 to 200 articles, more or less, based on a lot of news writing, interviews, sociocultural, analytical stuff. I've done some political writing as well, but that's...
Yeah, have you done a lot of writing outside of esports? So, I mean, was this something where you were doing a lot of writing, whether it was like a school newspaper or something like that, and then transfer that over to esports, or did you find this one outlet where it was like, hey, I really like esports, I'm going to write my dick off about this, and then discovered I can also write about other topics?
In high school,
did your dick fall off? That's
in high school, I ended up reading a lot in French. In English, because my entire school was in French. So I wasn't really attracted to many of the qualities or things that they liked. They liked a lot of hockey, a lot of sports, and I was more into video gaming and more into just talking and playing games. So to compensate for that, I ended up spending a lot of time with myself and reading. In CJAP, I ended up transitioning to an English school, and I think I ended up starting writing a lot more. I used to write out to sort of vent out my frustrations with being alienated of such a country or province actually. I used to write a lot of poetry and prose. They actually published a few of my stuff, but it was nothing huge, just within the town. And so it was mostly creative writing. And then when it came to informative writing, I realized that since I was in school writing a lot of informative pieces because I was trying to get my associate's degree in psychology and later on my undergraduate degree in sociology, I ended up transitioning more into an informative writing. So with esports, I've been liking gaming so much, I ended up writing a lot about esports. I didn't write for any newspaper or anything. I don't know. I just sort of moved on to writing for esports.
Right.
Awesome.
So, Michael, you actually wear a lot of hats. Obviously, we've heard a lot of what you do and a lot of the ways that you integrate yourself with all of your interests. So,
You're speaking figuratively.
Yeah,
you don't wearing a lot of hats.
I can't see you. I don't know if you're wearing the towering.
Yeah, I was definitely confused.
When you started that, it sounded like you were actually literally saying, like, I hear you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, where are
tell
you
me
going
about
with
your
this?
hat collection.
Are you guys at least not familiar with you wear many hats? But anyways,
I am now, but I think.
Okay, so
Can you use the word
a
synergy
saying.
at least 2 times?
You do a lot of things. You're a jack of all trades, whatever you want to call it. So if let's say that you had to specialize in one, what is your burning passion? Is it to write, or is it the journalism in front of a camera, or is it commentating games? Where would you say if you had to pick one, where would you go?
I'm always wish-washed about writing. I like writing. I just never have the urge to write all the time, and that's why my sociocultural analytical series, Armchair Athleticism, that was really pronounced. Isn't really. It's kind of slowed down recently because I have a lot of ideas. I just can't put them into words. I think at the bottom of it all, I'd really like player managing. I really like caring for the players and feeling a part of the team. Obviously it demands a lot and it doesn't get you a lot of spotlight, so I guess that's the downside to it. So you don't necessarily get a lot of opportunities unless you really get to go to events and such. But I would say player management, second event planning. Writing, I like writing, but I like the idea that I'm able to write more than potentially what I'm writing, and I'm gonna end up kicking myself about that, but I'm kind of on the fence. I like it, but sometimes I wish I could write whenever.
Oh, for sure. Like getting that time just to write whatever you want. So, Michael, I have a couple of questions so basically you have a lot of experience with esports, just being involved with it for so long. What are some of your ideas for, esports in Canada? What are some things that we could do better here to promote it more?
Oh, geez. That's like the $1 million.
Maybe
solve our problem, Michael.
Yeah. Just,
oh man,
maybe we'll
you
say
got 30 seconds. Go.
Solve esports famine. Do it.
I used to be so bitter about esports in Canada because it felt
like. Well, lay it on us. Just like vent.
It felt like everyone was fighting for their small territories. I mean, remember Interceptor Group?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't want to put them down, but they had such bad ideas, and I actually don't mind saying this out loud, but remember that White Rock Exposition thing they were doing?
Yes.
Yep. That was in Montreal and Toronto, right?
Yeah, that was awesome, right?
Yeah, that was quite well done, yeah.
So his idea was, and this is, you don't have to laugh at this, it makes me laugh every time, but his idea was that he wanted to make a DVD of it with attached replays. So it was about maybe he played like 6 games in one event, so 12 games, and the DVD for this, and he wanted people to buy it. And it was gonna be like he wouldn't allow me to release the replays at all, even after like 3 months later when he was supposed to have this done. Didn't want the replays released at all, and he wanted to make these into DVDs. He sort of wanted to make a small profit from it, maybe recoup some of the losses that he got from it. And it just sort of reminded me of how everyone's in it for the shorter buck, or how everyone's trying to build off on what they started and then never actually finishing it. And it's like that with Cyberactive as well. When they ended up, they did Barcraft Montreal with myself and my good friend Marco, and they would always help out. And they were actually pretty much the core group that helped us out with the technology to project stuff on the big screen. And then as soon as Barcraft Montreal ended, they never did anything else. I mean, they announced a few other things with you guys, right? They announced like this championship series within Canada or Montreal, and then they they had a few other things planned. They were doing something with Juste pour rire at the Palais de Congrès at I think it was supposed to be this year or next year. And I just feel that with a lot of people, they either start something and they never finish it, or they start something and then they lose the momentum to actually follow through on what they want to do.
Right.
Right.
And then with these two groups, ended up not really propelling out of control with ideas and actually finishing up their projects. And it's just left with you guys, and now you guys have to manage everything within Canada, and then you have some smaller sponsors that help out with like some events, right? I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we
It
just have
depends on
volunteer.
kind of the event. We all have our local. Like if I run events here in St. John, I know I can pull a few different local places and
Right.
get some things. And same with like Toronto, they always have a different venue or something they can go to, and maybe someone will throw in a bit of money. But no, we don't have any sort of like national sponsor that's
Right,
fueling
and
all of our
that's
events.
what's really needed. It's really need like a national sponsor. I mean, remember, wasn't there like a Bell Fiber Op?
Yep,
Hosted
that was out of
events.
that was out of a group in Halifax.
And they don't want to do anything bigger, right? I don't think so.
Well, Bell Line's only Atlantic Canada, right? So they're not
Right.
really interested in expanding out and doing anything more than that.
So that's really the biggest issue. Like
yeah.
people can sponsor something in Canada and they'll get a huge pull, but everything big, usually their largest group is within the United States, and that's my opinion. You know, I'm talking offhand here. Someone probably can statistically prove me wrong here, but so whether you can throw an event here in Canada, why not throw it in America and just have the Canadians move over?
Yeah.
I have something to add to that. I was recently working with some with an American group that were interested to see, like, almost as if they're wondering, is Canada even a viable esport market? And like, to us, it seems silly that question would be asked, because we're like, man, LAN ATS pulls over 1,000 people inside of a venue, not to mention all the people that watch it, right? So like, we're definitely primed for esports, but it's almost like nobody even thinks of us or cares that we even exist. So I think that's to your point.
I find it so silly that Canada doesn't have anything yet. I mean, it's not like you can do anything national now with like the WCS and all these players going international traveling. But I mean, if you look at DreamHack is, I mean, you look at Sweden has a couple of events, and they're small. I mean, it's a small country, so that's their plus size. They know that they can get a lot of people coming over.
Close.
Yeah, South Korea, same thing. A lot of European countries, it's like that because they're small countries. And in Canada, I don't know why it doesn't attract much, because all the major cities are at the bottom. You got nice like 6 cities, 7 cities that could attract a lot of people. But I mean, they just say, "Oh, it's so close to the border. We'll just stick in the USA, I guess." But I don't know, because Canada has like the perfect road of major cities to create sort of like a league event or something, but
a circuit.
Yeah, like a traveling cup that would go from city to city over
traveling
summer
circus.
or something.
Exactly.
I guess yeah.
I mean, do you think the Canadian Football League, or is there? Yeah, do you think the Canadian Football League has sort of the same parallel problems as esports in Canada? I mean, they don't have as many.
We're a lot more regionalized, right? Because every small city or big city has their own team. Like here in Atlantic Canada, I can attest that no one cares about the CFL. We don't have a team, right? There's no team east of Montreal, like little to no fanfare for the CFL. But then if you go to Saskatchewan, it's just like Rough Rider Nation. Like you can't step 5 feet without seeing a jersey somewhere.
Really? I didn't know that. Huh. So that's basically my thing. Like there's the NFL that's really popular, and then the CFL, it's popularized nationally, but even then, it definitely doesn't hit where the NFL is tramping on.
Yeah,
for sure. So you did mention a little bit, you basically gave us a perspective on how things are kind of mucked up, or maybe why they're not happening. But do you see some sort of shining light? Like if we could just get this, then good things would happen? I think you kind of touched on it, the fact that we're so far, but we can just do a circuit across the major cities and stuff. But what's maybe a small step, something that we could like hold on to, that if we just grasp this one thing, maybe esports will really take a foothold in Canada?
Yeah.
It might be tough, and I'm not saying
I'm going to sound like the most negative guy here. That's the thing. I definitely think, in theory, it sounds like, all we need is that one guy that one company to clinch onto our idea, and then we'll definitely be within competition. But then you got to compete with everyone else. I mean, why would either your money has to be absolutely supreme, or you have to break into, this scene that's already pretty established. You have to break into ESL, you have to break into DreamHack, you have to break into MLG, NASL. You have to break it to GSL, and this is with your new league with a decent prize pool. Obviously, with your first league, it's going to be a smaller prize pool than what you get later on, because obviously the company's not sure. He's going to give you a little, and if it's a success, then obviously they're going to give you more. So your tiny prize league is going to have to attract some bigger names so that you get the right viewers, and then that viewership is going to have to be so happy or so approving of what you did that you're going to get more money for the sponsorship. And that's simple in terms. I mean, we're ignoring a lot more here. And so Canada has to compete with all those other leagues that are trying to fit within WCS as well. So, like, the two steps that you have to get over is, one is getting up to a respectable league that will attract people, both viewers and players. And then you have to find it within the schedule. You have to fit it within this schedule of like national and international leagues that are already pretty well established and pretty much set. So that's why I'm pretty so on it.
Hey man, keeping it real.
Yeah,
Keeping it real, Michael.
That's a good way to put it.
New show name, Real Talk.
Torte de Lini, yeah.
And I know you mentioned kind of getting that exposure for players. Do you think Canada is kind of suffering now that we don't have a WCS Canada? We don't have that Canadian event that can kind of elevate our stars. I mean, that's where Scarlett made a really big splash, was at WCS Canada, when people really got to see her games and see, okay, she's the real deal.
The proving point from IPL. Yeah.
Exactly.
Agreed.
And
Definitely.
now we kind of don't have that. I mean, there's only 12 spots for all of North America now.
Oh god, I know, that's so sad. And then how many of them are actually like North Americans?
And then I mean, you look at the actual like qualifier for that. There's no live tournament for that. We don't really get player profiles. We get to see their game if it happens to be casted, if they make it into the 5th, 6th, 7th round, and we get to see 2, maybe 3 of their games casted. There's no profile on them, no nothing, no where they're from. It's just a name.
All right, that's the whole story of esports practically. I mean, dozens of people have been suffering from this. Teams have been begging to get a little more exposure from going to these events. Like, if you talk to any team that's growing or spending their few shreds of bucks on going to MLG, they're hoping to really meet some sponsors and really get their name out there. But it's all dependent on the player to achieve. And if he doesn't, then you just lost all this investment money for nothing. It's not necessarily nothing. I mean, you learned something, but you didn't get the exposure that you wanted.
We had Shane Parmalee from My Intent on 15 episodes back probably, and he talked about how it was this kind of tough decision. Do I send players to an MLG, and I know it's great and we think it's going to be this super exposure and whatnot, but they're probably not going to win. They're probably not going to make it into group play. If they make it into the 6th, 7th round, that's great. We're super proud of them, but sponsors don't care. They ask one question: did the guy win? Did he come second? No. Well, then I don't care.
It's not even that, man. It's like how many viewers were watching you, or
what can you offer? A lot of viewers.
It's like, true. My games didn't get streamed because my name's not Muslim. My name's not anything Korean.
Definitely.
And so he's kind of made this transition into saving that money to produce content at home to really profile his players, boost them up, show some personality, and get a following that way.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you have to win to get people to notice you. And if you win successfully in a good amount of times, and if you start falling off the scale, then it's not so bad. And then you still get a bit of exposure through streaming, and you still get some of your matches casted because you're that guy who succeeded a few more times back in the day.
Yeah, I don't think you only just have to win. I was explaining this to Kane last week, how there's kind of the 3 different people you watch streaming. It's I think I compared like Hyun, the Muslim, and Idra. Because you watch Idra, he's not going to win, but he rages, and it's entertaining that way. And you look at someone like Destiny, who was, he would do well on ladder and win, but I mean, he wasn't going to tournaments and placing anywhere near the top, really. But he was super entertaining to watch. But I don't think that helps the community and the scene on the whole. It's more of just it helps that singular player kind of make a living through stream revenue, etc.
I mean, every bit counts in the end, right? So if he's making a bit of money, then it just helps establish the idea of sports professional career. I'm actually writing on how volatile and how crazy the amount of sort of pitfalls for a player when they're trying to make a career, when they have this career. So let's take an example here, and I haven't written this out yet, so you have to bear with me. So let's take an example. Let's take Huck, for example. So Huck, he's been doing good, but lately he's been up and down, right? He hasn't been achieving So some of it you can blame on the balance of the game, and that's actually an interesting concept that not many people have really considered. Have we considered that where we take how much the game is balanced towards the career of someone? Like we saw Johnny Recco, he was pretty popular after TSL 3. He ended up being picked up by Dignitas because he beat a couple Koreans, but also because Zerg was on the upside during that time with their Vestibrue lords becoming more and more prominent of being the strongest race towards the end of Rings of Liberty.
Yeah, it's the whole
And
patch
so,
Zerg thing, right?
yeah. I mean, Pat Zerg is sort of the branding name for it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, with the balance of that, as well as emotional issues or your idea of the future, as well as tournament structure, some of them are pretty flawed, right?
Yep.
So all these small cracks and bits and pieces actually might hurt your career in the long run. But we don't really, evaluate or sort of quantify how much this actually affects a person's career. We sort of just, tell the player to tough it out, or really we just expect the player to tough it out, and that we hope that, or actually we expect as well that the team sort of just accept it, or they just sort of keep the player in the long run. And most teams do. I mean, most teams hold on to their players for a significant amount of time. I mean, Noni hasn't been achieving for a long time, and Liquid kept him for a good amount of time. But yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was trying to find a conclusion anyway.
Well, you'll probably find a good one squashing this idea, and I'm just basically saying this just for argument's sake. So,
right.
Esports is it's in a way following the ideal of a competitive sport, a competitive professional sport, where there must be one in the end. We all whittle it down. We have a big bracket at the bottom, and it all goes down to a pyramid at the top, and that's what makes professional sports what they are, right? So
competitive.
Exactly, and esports seems to be following that. So it's almost like it's an inescapable consequence of having a competitive sport, is that there only can be one at the top. And yeah, you're going to throw a lot of people into the fire, and it's going to be sink or swim for a lot of people, but that's the nature of it. Is there a way to get around that, to circumvent that, or is it just the nature of the beast? Do we just have to take the good with the bad?
I didn't write this out. This was my original draft a while back, but I always figured that there's two types of players. Ones that achieve, and the second one was always the one who compared himself to the people he beat. And those people typically don't actually get that far. And what I mean by that is that I used to manage a lot of players. I think it was when we were on Team Dynamic, and these guys would beat the top players constantly on the ladder, and he would sometimes beat them in the tournaments as well. MLG Anaheim, Atero got all the way to the championship bracket, ended up losing to Jimmy, I think, 2-0. And then I'll always, whenever I'm trying to pitch Atero to either teams, because he was looking to transition to a team that paid a little bit more, I always pitched him as someone who can beat all these players. He ended up being Major in the Home Story Cup, ended up being a bunch of other players, Carrie Rice in Home Story Cup. I think this was number 2 or 3. And I always ended up comparing him to others, and I realized that that a lot of player managers don't really care about who you beat; they care about if you win. Yep. And then I ended up following through on this idea in my article. Was it Small Tournaments, a player's CV or resume? I think it was a programmer's resume. And then I ended up finding out through a couple of player managers on some well-established teams, like EG, for example, that they actually care about how many major championships you win, and not necessarily how many of the small tournaments you win. Because as we saw with Hyun, he didn't get picked up till Quantic picked him up. They picked him up for a pretty good, substantial amount of money. But no one was really looking to pick him up as well, because both of his cost, as well as the fact that he was winning smaller tournaments and none of the major ones.
Very important, all important factors.
Yeah. I don't like it.
It is kind of a sink or swim. It's a threshold where, once you're at the top, you have to constantly find ways. And this is, of course, my sort of cynical view, where once you're at the top, you have to constantly find ways to sort of reinvent yourself to keep yourself constantly relevant if you're not performing.
Yeah.
And if you're at the bottom, to fight through all these other competitors, become someone new and achieving. And I think if Kane starts winning, I think he'll become someone new at the top, in my opinion. Because people have always respected him. He just hasn't really hit that yet. You know
what we did? We created eSports Hollywood. We're gonna have people moving to LA and they're waitresses and waiters, and they'll be like, I'm just trying to get into esports, but
That's actually good enough. I get that.
You want to watch a few of my replays? I got them with me here in my car. Just go grab
Check my
them.
chat. Check my chat script. I was nice the whole
read my
time.
build order. Read my.
I was BM. I'm a personality. People like me. Oh man, that reminded me of this stupid idea I wanted to do. I wanted to do it like a. You guys know the show Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah.
I wanted to do a Dota's Kitchen.
Oh
Or, like,
man.
Yo,
That'd be
like
so
Yelling at
BM.
Brazilian cooks.
like 2 BM assholes like in the back shitting on these like 5 people on different teams, and then they vote 2 off, and then like the remaining 3 go on to these other teams. And I wrote this whole system out. It was hilarious. And like they basically shit on them to improve. Like, why'd you buy that? Why'd you get that skill? Why'd you buy those items? Ward, and just completely like wrecked
They
them.
have challenges and stuff like that. It's like this
Yeah.
game you have to farm up with 600 XP per like minute
Yeah,
or something.
you all play support, and you have to have 400 GPM. Go.
Who made
I'd
this
watch
gank?
I'd watch that.
Fantastic. Now fuck off, yeah?
Why'd you pick this counter? Does he look like a counter? Oh man, I want to do it so bad. It looks so good.
There should be an esports show like that.
Didn't they do something for like Lone
They
Star
did.
Clash or something?
I feel like In Control was on a gamer show, like where the gamers
Yeah,
competed,
yeah,
but there
he
was no
was.
one yelling at them.
Yeah.
That
That was the
gamer
missing
show was
ingredient.
bullshit.
In
What was
Control
it,
doing
It
DDR
was
was
WCG
hilarious.
Ultimate Gamer.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I didn't watch it though, but
I
it
watched
definitely.
it when I first started getting into esports. I went and found all the VODs of it on YouTube.
And
And it just sucked because like In Control's one game is like StarCraft. Like, I'm sure he's like pretty decent at other games, but like,
yeah,
his game is StarCraft, like arguably probably the toughest one out of all the games that were there. Other people were like super good at like Street
probably
Fighter.
the
or-
least interesting to
game.
watch too.
Oh yeah,
I'd
the
say.
least. Yeah, it's not something they were gonna be like, and now we're
Yeah.
gonna play StarCraft because he would just absolutely destroy everyone.
He's
So,
mining.
but like every game
he's
was like, we're gonna
mining.
play Halo, and now we're gonna play like Call
Yeah.
of Duty, and now we're gonna play this other
racing
FPS.
games.
And so
Oh.
it was weighted horribly, and he got eliminated on the DDR episode.
Oh god. I just had a flashback of that GIF.
The In Control DDR gift.
Yeah.
He got eliminated on that one.
Gotta find
best.
this.
Oh man.
It's worth a
Oh,
watch.
great.
It's decent,
Oh man, that was awesome. Anyway.
Mhm, mhm.
but I digress.
There it is. I'm finding the GIF right now.
Good stuff, man.
That'll be
Look
our
at-
opener next week.
Yep.
Yeah. DDR GIF. Didn't they used it for State of the Game? That's where I remember it from.
Ah, okay.
I think I found it. That's why it's pretty funny. Anyway.
There it is. Oh man, he looks like No, I'm not gonna say it. Looks good. Looks good.
Post it in chat. Post it in
He
chat.
looks good. He looks.
Hey.
Yeah, don't say it. Just type it out.
Oh no. They both.
No, he looks awesome. It's just I think it's funny that they have to do it with their socks. So it's like he's got like this strong build and he's got like his little socks.
Well, you can tell he's never played DDR. If he has, his experience is very low. So
I
of course,
tried.
That's just like trying.
I tried playing DDR. I'm absolutely horrific at it. Like I really look like I'm confused.
John's a DDR champ.
I used to be pretty good. Used to
No
battle
way.
people at the theater.
You don't, John. You don't even know, man. You don't even know.
You
This
don't
guy.
even know.
I gotta
You
see
don't
this.
even know.
Heavy.
APM with his feet.
Used to jump the bar.
Used to hang out at Pacific Mall all the time.
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
Oh, he's not from Toronto.
oh, that's true. It's this super
Oh, weird.
Asian mall up in Markham.
Super Asian Mall.
Yeah, it's got a
Third
huge
third floor. All you get is like dim sum and DDR. That's it.
Sounds
Done.
amazing.
We have a small electronic bar here in Montreal where you can buy dim sum or the dumplings and you can play nothing but Street Fighter. It was like
Sounds like heaven.
It is, man. There's these 2 pro players, like they're professionals. They're so good at Street Fighter. They completely wrecked the shit out of me. I played them once and they just completely spanked me. I'm trying to get better at it though. I'm trying to get better at Street Fighter.
So, Michael, actually, you just reminded me. You are from obviously the Montreal area, and I know Montreal has a huge esports scene. We were just at LAN ATS just in March, so we know that it's an esports city. It's a game city. It's a really awesome city. I have a lot of family from there, and I've really enjoyed every time I go there. But what would you say? How do I ask this question? What do you think that makes Montreal so friendly towards esport and embracing this culture? Maybe even amongst the highest in all of Canada.
I have no idea. I don't have a singular clue. I don't know. Like they're huge into FPS. Like all the best players, all the best players are like Quebecois somehow. You know. I have no idea. Like since like high school, all I heard was like how good people were in like my school, how good they were at, like Halo or Counter Strike, and I don't know what is it about the culture or what makes them so good at playing games, but I have no idea. Maybe it's the competitive spirit in them. I don't know.
Oh, that Habs, if they can't cheer for their Habs in the playoffs, then they have to. It just bleeds over in esports. Well, I've heard some
Right.
people say I mean, Montreal very much has a laissez-faire attitude, and not just to throw out a French word I know, but just this idea where just very happy-go-lucky or embracing and free. So maybe that has something to do with it. And in other places like Toronto, very much has idealized with like business oriented, go, 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 rush, 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 no time for leisure and pleasure. But I think that's kind of not, although Montreal obviously is not like it's devoid of business, but it has more of this pleasure atmosphere. So
Right.
I've always thought that was the case, but obviously that's just me looking in from the outside. So I was just wondering what your take might be.
Maybe it's because of like how many developing gaming companies are here as well.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Or
Yeah.
maybe they came over here because of how many gamers we had.
Whoa, chicken or egg?
Yeah,
Deep.
I know.
That's deep.
And our friend told me, he used to joke about this, that how the Quebecois used to work only to drink, and they used to drink because of the work. Maybe they're playing games somewhere in between there, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just trying to read a chat. Was this a chat or a question in chat?
Nope.
No, I'm sorry.
I can write questions in chat for you guys.
Oh, perfect.
Do you want to ask a question?
How awesome are you? I'll read this one.
No, I'll definitely pump myself out. No. I gotta think of them.
No,
So actually,
that's fine.
how about I ask you this? You said of all the hats you wore, you would pick team managing and all these other items, embedding yourself into the community. But let's say event planning, I believe, was your second choice, where
Yeah.
you said you really okay. So I'm going to give you a chance. You can explain to me. I am a potential person who's
Gotcha.
interested in sponsoring esports for Canada, Canadian event, and you're to approach me. You have 60 seconds to convince me what is your event. And why should I care? Go.
It can be
Does
anything,
this
right?
All the time.
It can be anything. You have
This is
60
your new
seconds.
thing.
This is my new thing. Go.
I'll do the Dota's Kitchen. There you go. No, I'm actually serious. Before I wasn't serious. Then I realized how well
Okay,
put
sell it
together
to
it
me.
was.
I don't know what Dota is. Sell it to me.
Okay.
Go.
So Dota is this cooperative 5-man game in which we play sort of a tug of war amongst one another, where I have to attain his base while he attains mine. I'm explaining Dota, right?
Yeah. Well, whatever
So-
you need to sell it.
Within this game, we have 3 lanes in which that we have different creeps pushing one another to
Whoa,
attain one
this
another.
is getting very complex.
So it's like bowling.
Consider it a war game,
Mhm.
and it's based off the cooperative nature of everyone. So in order for this to happen, we want to study the sociological effect of them living amongst one another, and watching whether sort of the captain maintains his captain-ish role into the real world. So we see, like, is he giving orders outside as he is in game? Oh.
Whoa, so is this like a farming thing for like a business job? Like, can you? I used to play natural selection a lot, and in that game, you have
Oh,
command.
you have number 2?
I do, yeah.
Number 2.
So you obviously know what it is, but just in case anyone doesn't know, there's a commander in the team, and he's the one who basically gives orders and
Battlefield
convinces
2.
team. Controls the flow of the Marine team, right?
Exactly.
So I used to play it a lot, and my friends used to watch me. And my one friend thought that I was going to go into like the business field because he's all like, you like just love giving orders and you love controlling people and you love just telling
I'm
them what to
exactly
do.
like that though.
Right. So I was like, yeah, maybe you could like do a training simulator, get somebody to play NS2 and be a commander. So just Dota, the leader. Yeah, that's good. I don't know. I'll think about it.
I'm looking for the topic now because now I want to show it off. Yeah, I never really thought about what kind of event I would do. I would do I wanted to do a basic tournament, but it's obvious now that just a basic tournament where everything goes right is either really good or just a standard. Because I mean, DreamHack definitely steps the bar up every time, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So what about groups like Lone Star Clash? What do they do that's unique? I'm asking legitimately. I'm not being cynical here.
Well, from what I can gather, people who talk about Lone Star Clash, they really get excited about the hype. Lone Star Clash does a really good job of getting the brand and the hype going, and people almost enjoy that as much as the event. Because I mean, it's true. If we were to hold an event right now, we could say, yeah, we have like the top players in this region, and we could say, look at this, but it's still going to be Protoss versus Zerg versus Terran. It's going to be some combination. Right. It's going to be pretty much what you see. So they provide this other almost pizzazz, this showmanship. And it's kind of like the same as how EG, they use their house so well. They promote themselves. They walk through the house and their personality. So it's more than just the players and how well they do. It's showing this personality, letting it shine through. So from what I gather, people really appreciate that about Lone Star Clash. That's what really makes them stand out.
How do you feel about like Dota 2? Because Dota 2, they're actually becoming less online, less in-person tournaments, less LAN, and more online events. And how do you feel about companies or competitions eventually transitioning to completely online? I mean, obviously, we'd love to go visit these events, but I mean, it's not necessarily financially feasible. So
yeah, it's difficult to find space and money, infrastructure. All that stuff is usually a problem anywhere you look. And yeah,
you think it's a step back?
I don't think it's a step back. I don't know. I guess it's all about the way it's marketed. Because if you think about the way people watch TV, and that's where most marketing happens, right? They reach millions and millions of viewers. So if we can turn a video game stream into something that's just as exposed as just a cable television show, then we've done something right. We don't have to necessarily hit 30,000 people in one arena. Because, I mean, hockey does that. They fit tens of thousands of people in an arena, but then they're also reaching hundreds of thousands of people on cable TV, right?
Exactly.
And so I don't think it's actually a big hit that we don't have an in-person event. I personally like attending the events, but if that's not the focus of it, I don't think that's a big deal. I think more getting the exposure out there. I think we'd be surprised how many people don't know what esports is.
How are you supposed to sort of gauge the prestige of an event if you don't have anything sort of in person to show how many people are willing to go to such lengths to actually attend these events? That's what I'm wondering.
I think it's similar to viewer numbers. I mean, that's kind of what they do, right? This show is rated the top one because it gets the most views. You know, like,
right.
And not that that's a good barometer because, like, what's it called? Like, American Idol hits like millions and millions of viewers, right? But I'm not going to say that's a good show. I'm just saying that it's a good marketing show and it's a great place to throw your money, right? So I'm not trying to say that
you're hitting that key demographic of idiots.
That niche market. But yeah, I think one of the big things that holds back esports is just that it's not as well known. I mean, I didn't know about it until relatively recently. I was always playing games competitively, but I didn't actually realize this existed. And then once I realized, it's like coming at. Have you guys ever heard of Plato's Cave?
Yes.
Have you guys ever heard of this? Yeah, John's kind of a philosophy guy. But at any rate, Plato's Cave is you're kind of stuck in here and you think this is reality. And then once you come out of the cave, you see this new reality and you're like, oh my God, like this is like, it's so bright, it's blinding, right? And then when you go back into the cave to tell everyone, they think you're a madman. They're like, no, you're crazy. This is reality, right? So I think that's where I am right now. I've seen the light and it's so bright and beautiful, but not everybody's seen this. And we just need to expose more people.
You're crazy. Get back in the cave.
I'm the madman.
All right, everyone. Enough joking around. It's time to get serious.
Oh, it's time.
Torte de Lini. I'm going to give you one chance here to do any shout-outs you need to do before we jump into the lightning round.
I'll just thank everyone, pretty much anyone watching, and I think I'll thank Thomas. Thomas is awesome. I know a lot of people, and then I have like this core group of friends that I really cherish. Like,
say their names if you want. Say
you guys know John Clark?
Yes, he was on our show not too long ago.
Oh, I missed it. Yo,
yeah, with IL Toldano because they're doing IGL.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I like that. John Clark is pretty much the best. John Clark, the chef. Jeez, I'm gonna miss some names. Thomas. The last time I did this, I ended up sending an email to the reporter to put down the rest of these names. So
we'll add it in post.
Yeah,
it'll be Saunders'
as a caption on the YouTube video.
Yeah, I'll send you the list. It'll be a long list. Actually, yeah, I have the interview somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, Brad, John Clark, Thomas, and I think a few others I can't think off the top of my head. But those are the best.
In chat, I'm going to post, we already have your Twitter up there, but I'm also going to post your WordPress site and your Twitter, just in case anybody wants to see any of those.
I don't get a lot of views on my articles. Actually, I get a good amount on Team Liquid. And it always saddens me that I don't get a lot of replies sometimes, and that's. I always wish people reply, because if you post anything on Reddit, they'll download it because they have this cynical view.
People just don't reply.
Yeah, they
download
just
you to
download.
hell.
They think
Downvote bots, man. Downvote bots.
They
Don't
think
take
you're
it.
trying to get like hits on your website when you just want you just want to write out your opinion and get some views. And I think that's a really hard barrier to break. The skepticism of the community.
Mm.
You know, is it worth my time, or is my view worth pressing this button
It's
for?
the ADD culture.
Something like that.
Entertained. Words aren't entertaining. Give me something. Snap,
But
snap.
yeah, I wish I got a few more replies on my articles. I always like discussing ideas. Anyway.
Go reply to Torte de Lini's post right now, guys.
Yeah.
Everyone
I haven't
will
post-
post.
I haven't posted an article in a while. I gotta finish this latest one.
All right, here we go with the video. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it did the thing where it pauses again.
Oh, John, what's
I
wrong?
know. I gotta
That's
figure this
not-
out.
You should render it before the show just to make sure it runs. Just do the test run.
Here it is. Oh yeah, there it is. 10 questions of no return. Turn. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Cue the
this
music.
is.
Cue the music.
I know. I can do my intro first.
Okay.
Thanks, Frank. I
forgot
forgot
last
the
week.
last 32 times.
I'll shut up now.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lightning round, my second favorite part of Monday night, where I ask our guests 10 skill-testing, physically demanding, emotionally wrenching questions that will take him to the limit. So if you are in chat, pray for the one they call Torte de Lini.
Where's
the
Thomas?
music,
I need
Frank.
Thomas.
Lifeline Tom.
Question number 1. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Name 3 ingredients needed to make pasta.
Flour, wheat. Oh jeez, I can't believe I can't figure this out. Water, obviously.
Water. Correct. You nailed it. Fantastic. Good speed as well. That is the true essence of lightning round. So that is 1 point.
I wish my teacher was this nice to me.
Oh,
Isn't it flour, semolina, and eggs?
It could be eggs as well. I
Don't
don't think
worry.
flour and wheat's not the same, is it? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flour is a part of the wheat, but it's a different part, right? Let's not get into this, but semolina is a whole different part of
Are
the
white
term.
flour and wheat flour the same?
If you're
No.
using white flour, you need semolina. If you're using wheat flour, you don't need semolina. Boom! Mind equals blown.
Italian.
Oh, I didn't know we were
Guys,
making the
Ital
same
pasta
pasta.
over
I
here.
didn't know we were making the same pasta with my ingredients. Doesn't count.
What do you make Torte de Lini with, my friend? Come on.
I hate tortellini. I hate it. I tell everyone this. I can't stand
Exposed. Exposed.
I take back everything I said about it being a quick response because that was like a 3-minute debacle. 0 points. Question number 2. Your favorite event of all time, past or present, any video game.
it. NASL season 3. I got to meet so many cool people.
Oh, nice.
That is the correct response.
I got a back rub from day 9.
Oh,
He back rubbed to me like he knew me. I'm like, bro, you don't know me, but you're rubbing my back.
That's a bonus point. You're up 2.
Sweet.
2-0. Question
Matt?
number 3. I know that you were vocal about your frustration with not being into hockey and other things that fellow Quebecers were into when you were a youngster, but I hope that you still follow the scene somewhat.
Not at all. I
In
know
how-
more of broom ball than freaking hockey.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's me.
In how many games will the Habs win over the Sens? They're playing a best of 7 series, so how many games is the series going to go? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Am I predicting here?
Yes, you're predicting.
2?
Okay, it takes 4 games to win a series.
Okay, then it's gonna be 4.
That's
obviously.
crushing.
Okay, a
Crushing
sweep.
victory.
Harking back to broom ball, it's going to be a sweep. That's the answer I was looking for, so that is a point.
I have no faith in the Canadians. I can see the Canadians, the Bell
You
Center.
have. Let me remind you, you have the point. So you should just stop trying to badmouth the hat. Question number 4. The one thing you would change about Team Liquid, the website, not the team.
Get rid of post counts. Just get rid of it.
Do you actually have the? I don't mean to bring it up again and
Go.
dwell on this, but do you have the highest
No,
No?
not even close.
Okay.
I used to be somewhat higher than most, but no, there's like at least 12 people ahead of me, and it's because it's because people see me post. They think I post the most because I post in the most areas.
Right.
So most of the major topics, they'll see me post the most. I'm also one of the first to post because I'm usually doing other work. So that's generally why they think I'm post a lot. It's only because I post in many areas rather than just live report topics.
Fair enough. That's a point.
Sweet.
4 points.
Am I beating Thomas? Okay.
Well, he had 7
Almost.
in total. So, question number 5. You mentioned you just finished school.
Right.
What is the best or most innovative way you ever cheated?
In university?
Throughout all of school.
In high school? Okay, high school is easy because I used to cheat a ton there.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I got awful grades in high school. French was so brutal to me. Okay, so I had this water bottle.
Before you answer this, I want to know. You said you moved from New Jersey like 12,
At
13
12
years
years
ago.
old.
But your French is pretty good from the small bit I heard you speak.
Right.
There's no way that you were French speaking in New Jersey.
No.
No.
I came to Canada, 6th grade. I had to redo my grade because I didn't speak a lick of French, so there's no way I could have passed. Learned French in a year, had to pass the 6th grade, then went on to do my high school with that somewhat okay French. I ended up doing the 9th grade again, and then I moved on. Haven't had a summer vacation since the 9th grade.
Really?
So it was a fully French school then.
100% French. They were whiter than me. They were so French.
Question number 5. Back to that. You just
Wait, what was
finished
the
school.
question?
Best way you ever cheated.
Oh yeah, okay, this is easy. There's 2 ways. There's one used to be the tissue. I used to have a tissue box. I used to write the answers on tissue right before I blow my nose. Check the answer, blow my nose. Or the other one was I used to have this water bottle. I used to rip open the label.
Yep.
Used to write everything, glue it back on. Used to finish the water bottle, and I could see the answers through the bottle.
I thought he was going to say something else about the tissue box.
I have no idea. But what would you
Me
do with the
neither.
tissue box?
I don't know.
Disgusting.
What would you do?
But how do you write it and then put it back?
You glue it
Is that-
back on.
Oh,
No, he's
that's
talking about
nuts,
the
man.
tissue. He's talking
Oh, the
about
tissue. Oh, yo, you gotta write really thin. You gotta write like it's like you're writing on feathers.
Wow. Wow, that's dedication.
Next level.
Yo,
Well, you deserve-
I did
you deserve
anything
a
to get
job.
my 60s, man. It was so hard.
That is great. That is more than I wanted to hear. Question 6. So you do get the point there. You're up 5.
Perfect
Question
score
number
so far.
Question number 6. Your favorite Cohen brothers movie?
Oh, jeez, I don't know them at all.
Or
I would
you
probably
not
know the
really
Cohen,
or-
but I don't know the Cohen. I know the Wachowski brothers.
Oh, there you go. Now they're the Wachowski siblings, by the way, because the one changed genders. So
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not
Yeah.
know
Didn't she
that.
release her new movie, Atlas? Something?
Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Do you mean? No, I don't know. How do you spell Cohen? C-O-E-N or C-O-H-E-N?
Cohen. Why are you trying to Google it right now?
No,
Oh,
I
honor
was wondering. I was
system.
just wondering. I already admitted I didn't know. So.
The Cohen brothers I'm referring to do spell it Coen.
Oh, I don't know them at all. Name me a movie from them.
Fargo, The Big Lebowski, No
That's my
Country for
favorite
Old
movie,
Men,
right there.
True Grit, Miller's Crossing. It's probably my
Oh,
favorite.
John, you're a movie buff.
Yeah, what is this? Are you sure you're in the right field?
Quit esports, go movie, man.
Yeah,
On
try
Tuesday
that.
nights, he hosts Movie Sports Canada.
Yeah.
Probably thumbs ups and thumbs down. Thumbs up.
You failed that question miserably, so -1.
At least I'm honest. Thomas
That's
wasn't
true.
honest.
That's true. We're closing in on question 9, and I don't have one for that, so I'm trying to think here. But question number 7. You mentioned you were a sociology major,
Right.
and I told you I was going to put a sociology type question in here. It is not trivia or something you can give a direct answer to. It is merely your own opinion.
Right.
Irving Goffman, or
My favorite theorist. Thank you.
you just won. He was my favorite too. That's all I wanted to hear.
Oh
it was
my God.
it was or Emil Durkheim, and Durkheim's an idiot. So.
I like Durkheim, but I like. Goffman.
Durkheim's so
Goffman.
dry. Wintry
Goffman's
Goffman though, it's just
best.
like, man, you're awesome.
Everything he says, it's so right.
What about did you ever hear the anecdote where he was there when Kennedy got shot and someone ran in the room and said the president's been assassinated? and he stood
No.
up as this like sociological experiment. He just stood up and said, "What about the economy?" It's a good one.
I didn't hear that.
That's a good one. And
Oh,
also, another quick fact about him: there's an episode of Seinfeld where an old woman has the rye bread,
I've seen all the episodes.
and
Yeah, she has marble rye.
she has a marble
The last
rye, and
Yep.
Jerry's trying to steal it from her, and she's like, "Give me that marble rye." That's Irving Goffman's daughter.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And he goes,
It
"Shut
might
up
not
the
be
whole
daughter.
time."
It might be like a niece or something like that. But there's a relation. She is related to Irving Goffman.
Oh, jeez. I didn't know that.
The more you know.
The more you know about Irving Goffman.
Wow.
Next week's episode, we have Irving Goffin. Just saying.
Perfect.
That was a big +1. Very happy that went that way.
See, Thomas, this is what you get for not sucking up to the host.
That's what
Wait,
you
what
gotta
was
do
that?
to win.
You're
You
just
figured
sucking
it
up.
out.
Yo, I didn't even do it. I just said it was my favorite.
That's true.
He's awesome.
He knew.
I wrote this emotive theory based on him.
Nice.
But anyway.
So I think you're at 6 points.
Very impressive.
Question number 8 I have written down as Nick's Dota question, where he gets to ask you as a guest lightning round host. He gets to ask you a Dota related question.
All
He's
right,
the only one that plays Dota.
Dota related. Well, Frank plays as well, but I'm better than him. So ha.
How many wins do you have?
I don't even know. Like 450.
So I just let you know, Songers is below 500. I'm above 500.
I
Just
did,
let you have an idea of how much better he is than I am.
Frank sucks.
You know,
Go
I
ahead.
wrote all the guides for Dota 2. I wrote every single guide for every hero. It's in the hero database. You know, when you load the game, you go to top left, you can load up
Yeah.
guides.
That's that guy.
I wrote all 100 guides. Top hero guide is mine.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's all I got. But I think I have almost 800 wins.
Oh, snap.
He beats everyone. But my question to you is, what's the worst lane to lane up against?
You mean as Nyx?
Bruh.
No, just
Oh, he went really... one of
you
one
are
of
bottom
100.
lane. You are Crystal Maiden.
You're on Radiant side, okay, bottom lane.
What is the worst lane that you could face?
One or two? One hero or two heroes?
Let's say it's typical. Let's say it's a 2-hero lane.
And your Crystal Maiden? It could be
Yep.
anyone. It could be... I mean, it could be the classic Veno and Juggernaut. Slow spin, you're dead.
This
Could
guy,
be-
this guy knows.
Could be OD. OD can make you disappear. Oh no, you know what's really freaking annoying? And you have to do this in a game?
Here we go.
You go Keeper of the Light, and you go Bane. And it's so annoying, because Bane will nightmare you. Keeper of Light charges his freaking Illuminate,
Boom.
and Bane just saps your life, and you're dead. 2 shots.
John, give this man a point.
It's so annoying. I can't stand it.
He happens to know skills from at least 5 heroes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
what's
what you
another-
just said, little man.
You know what's a good combo here? I've done this 1,000 times. Sven and Vengeful Spirit. Double stun,
Love it.
and then kill him 2 hits. That's it.
Love it.
Well, I mean, anybody with a stun and Juggy is a good lane bottom against almost any hero, right? So
No,
that's
you have
first
to do
blood
Veno. You have to do Veno and Juggernaut, because Veno's got that 60% slow at level 1, and it's incredibly OP. Anyway.
All right, Nick says you got the question right, but at
Sweet.
the same time, I don't really like when Nick is appeased. So no points are awarded.
Why is he a host? He's making me lose points.
We don't know why he's a host either, Michael.
I don't know why I'm here sometimes.
I think it's
Question.
sarcastic
I think
as
you're at 7 currently. You're at 7 currently.
You're tied with Thomas.
You're tied with Thomas.
Oh man, this is gonna be tight.
Question number 9.
You haven't written out. What is it?
You're asked to be a player for the international on a certain
God.
on any of the Dota teams, but you are told there's no BM allowed whatsoever for the entire weekend. Do you take the position?
What's the team? What team am I on?
It depends on what team. You can't just be like, yes, I'll go and play in the international and keep my mouth shut for 3 days.
Well, I mean, if it's a team I'm gonna win with, then I obviously won't be in.
I know maybe one Dota team. And it's that one.
Okay, take your pick. Either Navi or Invictus Gaming. Pick one of
Invictus
those.
Gaming, hands down.
Whoa,
Who
you
would pick
sell
that?
it. You gotta stick with the foreigners, bro.
You're sellout. No point.
China.
I was Orange Esports and Zenith all the time. I think I was EG once a while back.
Can you at least speak Cantonese or Mandarin or anything?
Oh, not a.
You'd be like their Brazilian player.
Come on now, it took him a year to learn French. He can't learn
You
Mandarin.
can probably pick it up.
Yo, Loaded was on Zenith before, so it's okay, right?
You just have to know 2 words. You know gank. That's
know
all they need to yell
How
at
do
you.
you say gank?
I don't know. I don't play Dota in Chinese.
You say gank. You know what gank means. You just ping it. You just double ping.
Just double ping. Universal language for Dota.
Universal ping
Yo,
language.
all the Russians use it. All the Russians use it. Everything.
All right, no points awarded for that.
Ah, brutal.
So you're still tied with Thomas Wild going into the final question. So this
Was
is
that got 10?
winner take all.
Sweating buckets, I'm sure.
Trying here. This is mostly training.
I know. Thank you. No one else has ever admitted that. Question number 10. You are a storied writer of all things esports. But now I'm going to give you your most difficult topic to date. You're writing a blog article, one for each of the hosts of this very show.
Oh, God.
And I want you to tell me what is your opening sentence for the blog about each one of us individually. So you can go Songers first, then Jovian, and then myself.
Include all you guys into this opening sentence?
No, we each get our own opening sentence.
Ah, gee.
You know a lot about us over
Yeah.
the 50 minutes that you've been talking to us.
58.
So I start with Songers?
Yeah, with Songers.
Songers or Songers?
Songers.
Songers. Like song and
Yeah.
2 of them. Songers.
Oh man! So as Songers was teaching his young friends to play Chinese Dota, Jovian, is it Jovian or Jovian?
You
Jovian
can
is
separate
good.
them all. You can separate. These don't
Yeah.
have to be.
Oh, okay.
They don't have to
Yeah,
mix
yeah.
into each other whatsoever. Just there's
Give
an
us a
article,
sentence for
there's an
Songers
article
and
about
then-
Songers. What is the opening sentence?
As Songers pompously and arrogantly told about his win ratio in comparison to his good friend Javian, I'll do them all 3. Javian sat back and compared the International to League of Legends Championship Series and how much of a better and well-structured series it was compared to the short and rather small International. And despite having the smaller win ratio, he had the better argument. And then I gotta do I do Quinn or do I
Yeah.
do...
Yeah, because you
Okay.
included both of them, which I do like, not giving them each their own sentence. I do
Sure,
appreciate
As
it.
both of them
Sure.
As both of them argued and debated, Quinn sat back, hands in the air, laid back, completely relaxed, and realized he's on eSports Canada and it doesn't matter because he's hosting the lightning round. There you go.
That was pandering.
That was... I tried hard. I tried to like smack you both
Such a tryhard.
and then get my point.
Pandering's better than slandering.
I tried to suck it up to Quinn while also smacking you both, but
God
He
damn.
knows. He knows. This
I
guy
got
knows
smacked
his
hard.
stuff.
saw right through me. Oh.
Let me tally this up here. I know Thomas. I'm hoping Thomas is still in the chat, waiting to see if
Do I
you
get
beat
a-
him.
We can do a tiebreaker point. I don't mind that.
Tiebreaker point.
If Thomas is in the chat, we should ask an 11th question to
I
see
can
who's the victor.
I should add him to this call.
Thomas, sorry. Well, yeah, we have
Oh,
him.
he's here. He's
Oh,
here.
he's here.
I'm gonna add him.
He's
Just
in
a
the
second,
Dota
guys.
game, so he's in
This
the
is
Dota
gonna screw up our screen regions, but I don't give a damn.
do it. You guys ever seen that? I think it's like episode 3, and then Emperor. He like Anakin. Spoiler here. Anakin's trying to kill Count Dooku or something, and then the Emperor, who makes this weirdest "do it" sound. He goes like, "Do it." It's like this like tiny dead frog. Do it.
Do it.
You gotta see it. It's like at the beginning. It's so mind blowing and weird. Thomas?
Yeah, we're joined by Thomas, I believe.
Is he here?
Yeah. Have you seen his picture?
Yeah, he looks very suave.
Thank you,
Looks like
Frank.
he's from Entourage.
There's the
Fake.
voice. There's the voice.
From Entourage.
What episode did we have Thomas on? Hold on, because this is incredible. I'll buy some time for John to think of a good question.
Thomas, are you in a game right now?
on.
I'm throwing a game right now.
As always. As always.
What'd you hear?
Oh damn! Why don't I see his name here?
Frank, I was on like episode 12 or something.
Oh, I was not scrolled far up enough. Yeah, to episode 12. You're right.
Was I right? That was a wild
Right on
guess.
the money.
That was not your question.
I should get a point for that.
I thought the tiebreaker. I didn't know I was being asked a skill testing question. I thought we were asking. I was going to come on to ask Torte de Lini a skill testing question.
Oh God, no.
You can't. How about this? You ask
he's
him
gonna
a
try to screw me
question, but if you can't answer it, you get the point.
Oh.
That's sure. That's fine. I have a great question for him anyway.
All right, how about this? You guys get to ask each other one question, and I decide the winner.
All right, sure, that works.
Boom.
How come Thomas gets a question like, "What's your favorite ice cream?" That's not fair.
No, you get to ask him the question though.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, that's easy.
Okay, but we can't really do this because one of you is just whoever goes second is just gonna completely screw over the other guy.
Yeah, I already have the question to screw him up.
Thomas, you have me on Skype, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can you both of you private message me your question for the other person? This is how we're gonna do it.
Whoa.
My God, we've never run this.
I mean,
game.
he won't know
This is
the
intense.
answer. so-
This is gonna crown the top journalist in Canada for esports.
Oh yeah. Can't
There's
take
no
this
way
like
he knows the answer to this question. I mean, it's about me. He doesn't know me at all.
Whoa, snap.
That's not even fair. My question is like something that's like it's just like a fun question. I didn't like go try hard on this question.
Man, that's almost worth the point.
Oh, no
Why?
way. Doesn't get benefit. Doesn't get charity points.
Anyway, I'm John. I don't have you on Skype, so can I send it to like Frank or something?
Yeah,
Send it to someone that can send it to me. Yeah.
Send it
I'll
to-
pass it along. John, why do you sound like a robot?
Yeah, he read real robotic on this.
Your
What?
internet's terrible. C'est muy terrible, John.
Is
C'est
it
très
so
très
bad?
grave.
I don't know how French Thomas is.
Thomas can speak French.
Thomas is fluent in French.
Is he? Thomas, are you
Yeah.
fluent in French?
Oui.
That's not my question. By the way. That's not my
Great.
question.
Non,
proof
j'ai
of being able to-
été pour 4
Oh, I got
ans.
it. I got it.
Here you go, John. This is Thomas's question.
Thomas is also fluent in Russian.
There. Did you get that, Quinn?
No, I don't think so. Where did
You got
get
mine from Thomas, though, right?
I got yours from Thomas. I don't think I've got Torts yet.
Oh, sorry, Frank. Let me edit that.
All right. We got an edit. Hold on.
Can I just post it? I'll just post it in eSports chat. It's just so like it's really
Yep,
easy.
that's
It's
fine.
not easy.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
Looks like John likes it.
So you're gonna get the question first here, Thomas, and your question. Are you ready? This is going to crown the top journalist in Canadian esports.
Google it now. Hurry up and ask.
Thomas,
Yeah.
how many Pokemon are there in the latest series?
The total?
Is that
No,
typing?
just half of them.
Not him typing.
Total.
No, I think that was
Like-
Songers.
I don't know. I haven't the slightest clue. I stopped following Pokemon after Red and Blue.
Really? Oh, that's sad. I followed up to like.
Just so disappointed.
I was up to
I'm
black
gonna
and white.
hit. Is it 649?
Yeah.
Nice.
What?
Oh, wow.
So,
9.
that's so lame.
That was easy, Thomas.
Thomas,
Give
I gotta pull
my
up
give
your
my
question.
163. How many were in the original?
161.
What? You don't even know that?
Wow.
I was off by 12. Give me a break, guys.
Oh, man.
At least
That
you know
hurts
good at
me,
math.
actually.
I gotta
Dude, I
pull
can
this up.
tell.
Other people. Okay, cool.
Wow.
All right, what's my question?
don't know.
What was the most commented? Which article for NASL 3 received the most comments?
No, that's not my question.
What? That's what was said.
You posted it. What was the
I
most
edited it though. You didn't send it.
Yeah, I
the
didn't
edited
get it.
Oh my good God.
This is falling apart, guys. It's like we didn't plan this, and now it's just
Like
falling.
we're rooting.
Quickly falling apart.
Send it to me.
Or me. I definitely have you. I see you. Come
Frank, I
on.
edited the original message on Skype. Can I just
No,
ask
why
him
don't
the
you
question?
say it out?
Yeah,
You
just
can
ask.
say
Just
it.
ask.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Mike,
Yeah.
what was your most famous piece of clothing at NASL Season 3?
Oh, yo, that turquoise. Was it that turquoise sweater vest I had?
Ah, damn it. He got it, guys. That was it. Thing
All
was
right,
hot.
then. The votes are
That
in.
thing was-
Thomas accepts defeat. A crown champion of both the lightning round and the ultimate journalist for Canadian esports is Michael Torte de Lini Cohen. Michael, do you have any words for us?
Thank Yeah, I should have asked like a much cooler question though.
You asked me like
Well, he
Pokemon.
called you out though. He called you a
Yeah.
tryhard.
My other question was, what was my middle name? Which Thomas has no idea.
Yo, I might know it.
Oh, go for it. He'll never know.
You know
Oh,
it.
no, it's not. I know your hyphenated name.
Cohen
That's
Palacio.
not the same, is it?
No, it's it begins with a Y, so
Then I don't know it.
it's gonna be good.
Yogurt.
It begins with Yo.
Oh,
Yo,
see,
Zach.
I win. I win at something, guys.
In chat, somebody who knows him, type it. I hope somebody knows it, but I have no idea.
Yonkers.
Look, that guy said it. Who was he?
Yusef.
Oh, Yusef.
Hey, that's Torte de Lini himself, you fools.
Oh, we got screwed.
Let's get that guy a prize.
What a troll. Number one troll.
Lobbings has some questions, but
Like working with Canada Cup, biggest FGC event in Canada.
Lemmings, we would totally love to, but they have not invited us yet. So maybe one day.
Yeah,
Actually-
I don't know. They have a pretty good like the what usually happens is that most organizations end up teaming up with one another to grow together. This is what was going to try and happen with eSports Canada and Cyberactive. But like Canada Cup is already so huge and so substantial, so much more, I guess, supported on their own. They have their own 2
Yeah.
feet that I don't really know if they would incorporate, new people. I'm not trying to put down eSports Canada, just more.
No, I
training
totally agree.
Yeah. It would be cool though. I'd like that. I have yet to go to Canada Cup.
We actually are.
Oh.
I don't know, Frank. There's talk that we may be at. I'm gonna butcher this name. Taryukin.
Toryukin.
or you can.
Toryukin. Toryukin.
We're going.
We're
to
actually going to be, we're going to be going to that. Apparently, Canada Cup is part of that, so I guess we are.
Where is that? Where is Toryukin?
Toryukin's in Toronto. It's going to be downtown. Actually, I am remiss because I should know this information, and I was given it last week, but I didn't write it down. But let me just give you a little lowdown. Is that what you want, John?
Yeah. Well, I just know someone saw it.
If one of you guys can hunt down the actual post from Mike Daniels in our East STV chat, he actually mentions it there. So Toryukin's happening in Toronto. It's part of the Road to EVO, and it's going to be a huge event. There's going to be American and Canadian players, some of the biggest names in fighting game community, and Songers and I hopefully will be there on Friday. Well, I know I'm planning to go, Songers. I hope you're available.
When is
we're
it?
going to go. When, sorry?
Yeah.
It's this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Huh.
downtown Toronto at a hotel. Hopefully one of these guys will get that information. Otherwise, if Mike Daniels is watching, he can maybe type it out. But at any rate, yeah, so it's downtown Toronto. It's going to be a really wicked event. The last weekend was the online sign up. So if you plan on signing up, it's already too late, guys, but you can still attend. I think it's $10 for just an observer
I
pass.
just
to
posted
get
all
in.
the info there in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Johnny. So
Just head to
$10 to...
TorontoTopTiers.com/Toryukin.
Yeah, $10 to observe. I think it's $35 to get in and participate. And like they've mentioned in the past, the fighting games community, there's no wall between players and viewers. So, you stand in the back, and if you want next game, you go in there as long as you have the wristband proof that you paid your entry fee. And it's a really, really wicked event. We're really excited to be there. Songers and I should be doing some fun things on the Friday, interviewing some players who show up early. And we're probably going to do a little bit of esports meets fighting game community, because we're not experts in the fighting games community, but we're really trying to get everything connected. So I guess this does answer Loving's question about connecting all these different groups. So hopefully this is the start of some big things.
Yeah, I definitely should consider going. Oh.
Yeah, if you're in the area, that'd be awesome.
It's only a bus ticket away, right?
That's
Exactly.
true. I love your mentality.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think I might go. I don't know.
Well, let us know.
Roger.
Let us know.
Cool, guys. We are way past our time limit. Jesus.
Yeah.
That lightning round turned out to be like.
Damn.
It's
Yeah.
like 45 minutes. Pain.
Because we pulled Thomas out of his game for that.
He was
Yeah.
throwing it anyway. He played Enigma.
All right, guys. Next week, who do we have, Frank?
We have Drekken Pones coming on. He's a big guy. He hosts and runs eSports Champ, which you may know of. He does a lot of things in eSports, so definitely check them out. Primarily, and most currently, he's going to be heading up the gaming eSports segment of Anime North, which is a huge anime convention in Toronto. It's usually downtown. I think it's at the Metro Convention Center downtown.
Oh, my
So-
friend is hosting an event there.
Yeah.
Uh, Anime North StarCraft 2 tournament.
Perfect. Wait, is that not Dragon Pose?
No, it's his name's Slacker.
Okay, well, I guess all these guys know each other anyway. So Dragon Phones is also affiliated with that, so he'll be on just to talk about Anime North and probably a little bit about esports that he rocks. So check in for that next week.
Thank you very much to our guest, Michael Torte de Lini Cohen. You can follow his blog, tortellini.wordpress.com, as well all of his postings on Team Liquid. He's a very intelligent man. Congratulations on your new degree, and I hope
congrats.
Good luck with your
the job search.
Hell's Dota.
Oh yeah, it's called Rashawn's Pit. It's awesome.
Rashawn's Pit. Fantastic, guys. We can't wait to see you next week. Thanks to all the lovely people in chat. I've been your host, John Quinn, at Quinn in the Net. Make sure to follow at ESC Jovian, at ESC Songers, and at Torte de Lini. And you can follow us at esports_Canada on Twitter, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/esportscanada. And of course, our website. Join the forums and the conversation, esportscanada.com. I am out for another week.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.
When the clock doesn't tick, I crash into you. We both feel the hit. We both feel the way that our chemicals mix, and I wish that
I just keep my eyes shut, maybe this time it'll be enough.
so I need the dark. Without you here, I would never see the stars. I'm headed for you. Foot on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no looking back.